I know you guys remember that intro. If you don't, y'all missing out on something. But that was the intro to the game. And you're about to join us for a nice conversation with one of the OGs, guy from the game. You know him as Pooch. I know him as Derwin Davis, aka the rookie, aka Ding Dong. So super excited, guys. Come on and join right in. We're gonna have a nice conversation with him. And we're gonna have a good talk. As you guys know, the game is now streaming on Netflix. The first 3 seasons, at least. So if you haven't seen it, you too young for me. But if you have seen it, you already know it was one of the greatest shows that was out there on the CW. Super, super dope. And we're going to talk with Pooch, one of the actors who played Derwin Davis. And super excited for the conversation. But you know how we always doing this conversation. I want to know where you guys are coming in from. Tell me where you coming from. Okay, we got Dane in the building. Zoraida, D Melo, Brock joined in. Who else? Hope everybody's good. It's Friday. Still kind of quarantining, so I don't know how much everybody is getting in and doing, but you know, we still gonna figure it out. Okay, Zoraida from ATL. Yerp. Okay, from San Francisco. Cool, cool. Else, another somebody out in ATL. Awesome, awesome. Dope, dope. So how many of you guys have started watching the game all over again now that it's here on Netflix? Okay, Hamden, Connecticut. All right. Dope, dope. Chris, what's going on, Chris? How you doing? Mr. Christopher Leon. Ira, what's up? Okay, from New York. Okay, Slim Chick 23, Dallas, Texas. Taylor just finished it. It's crazy. Hold on, I think we got Pooch is here. Hold up, let's see here. All right. Find him right here. No, I just saw his name. Let's see here.
Yeah,
Mr. Hall, what's going on? Can I hear you? Hold up, make
you
sure.
got me?
I got you.
All right, let me see. All right. What up, y'all?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good, fam. I'm good. Thank you for having me be a part of this, man. It's dope.
Of course, of course. Listen, I've been trying to have this conversation for 15 years.
That's what's up.
It's awesome, man. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. As we said, we're going to have a real good conversation. As you guys know, the game has now been streaming for about a week now, since the 15th, in the first 3 seasons. So, had to get our guy Pooch on here to have a little conversation about the game. We gotta bring up some old wounds. We got a couple questions, couple answers we trying to get out of him. But we're not gonna take too much time. But definitely wanted to say, I hope all is well with you and you doing all right in the coronavirus and everything, right?
Yeah, brother. It's been tough, man. And shout out to all the people out there keeping it together, because I know stuff out there with the corona and everything. Nobody expected it to hit like this and to hit for this long.
Yeah.
And it's tough, man. So like my whole thing is like, it's okay to not be okay, because like nobody saw this coming. No one saw the impact that it was going to have on so many people's lives. And, you know, I'm trying not to start it off on a tough note, but I lost a lot of friends during this COVID. So I want to make sure everyone out there knows it's okay to not be okay, to make sure that if you're going through stuff, talk to someone, share with somebody. Even if you don't feel they want to hear it, share. You know, you never know what someone can give you that can help you get through the day and what have you. So that's super, super, super important.
And check on your friends. Check on them. Talk to them, please.
Yeah.
All depression is crazy right now. People are really just in their thoughts, you know, because they don't have nothing else to do. So
And also too, I wanna jump on that too. And none of this, like, put the egos aside to where like, well, he ain't call me or she ain't call me, calling them. It's like, the love that you will get back is the love that you put out. So when you put that love out there without an agenda, the blessings and love that comes back endless, man. So I just want to make sure people understand that. And shout out to all the people who's joining and supporting me and being, you know, part of my journey as far as an actor and entertainer, man. So I'm super, super grateful, man. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So first things first, you know, what was that reaction when you first heard that the game will be on Netflix?
I was like, what? Okay. Yo, man, it's a blessing, right? The one thing about our creator, Mark Rocket Kill, she used to call the game the little engine that could.
Wow.
And it's like doing its thing, man. Like, and it's a lot of it has to do with the fans, bro, and the impact that the show has on our community.
Right.
Just like the show's timeless, like, because I found myself watching it, like my kids were watching it, and there was this, like, some stuff they kind of like, it's kind of out of touch. They're like, Dad, what kind of song is that? I was like, nah, that was boy back then, man. You know. So it's one of those things that it touched so many people's lives and gave that getaway nights or whatever night it aired,
Right.
where we had our guilty pleasures, like our shows. You know what I mean? Like growing up for me, it was Martin,
Right.
and I had to watch Martin. You know what I mean, to see what happened with him and Gina. So with the game and the cast, like myself, Tia, Wendy, Hosea, Brittany, and Kobe, man, like we caught lightning in a bottle, like for real. And we didn't know it was going to become this. And for the fact that it came back on Netflix, and I heard it's been streaming other places, but like when it hit Netflix, all of a sudden I started getting all this like traffic as far as like interviews, and people who've never seen it before were like, yo, this show's dope. Are you guys doing? And I'm just grateful for that opportunity, because Netflix is big, man. Like Netflix is where it's at right now. You know what I mean?
And I was gonna ask you, you know, what was that feeling when you guys were filming the first season? Did you know then how big of an impact it was going to be?
No, like, nah, bro. Like it was in the beginning. It was just like, yo, man, I'm so happy to have a job. You know, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
in Hollywood at the time, I mean, even now, Hollywood is so, it's tough. It's tough to break in. And then when you're in Hollywood, you got to maintain that. So, we got on the game, and, we were just so happy to have a job. I mean, I grew up playing sports. I boxed, I played football my whole life. And so it was like I made it to the league, if that makes sense. It was almost kind of like I made it pro,
Right.
but not,
Right.
you know, I was really excited to be a part of it, and we was just thankful to have a show, bro. Like, because there was so many actors not working and people trying to get jobs. Not only did we book a job, but we got a job, and it had the impact that it had. And I think Mara Brockett Kill, the creator of the show, like she hit with the show, because number one, football's popular, and then everything that comes with that as far as like Black culture, music, fashion, just like, saying the vibes, the swag, the whole nine, it had it all. And, it was ahead of its time in a sense. And then, the game went on and did what it did.
And it's crazy because you say that, and we never got to see that aspect of celebrity, from being around affluent Black people for the most part. And all of you guys, were affluent. Melanie was a trying to be kind of ultimately, you messed her up, neither here nor there. But being a doctor, you guys had money and stuff like that. And we didn't really get to see that from back then, we didn't see too many of those type of things.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think Mara's plan was to really go off into this world, because in the beginning, we follow, like Melanie followed her dude to the NFL in a sense, to follow his dream. Meanwhile, she's like, I want to be a doctor and, what have you. And they were a team. But what a lot of people don't account for is how much work being an entertainer is and what comes with that and being a celebrity or a star. And like Derwin, like I blew up and became like a superstar. And, I'm so thankful that, we got canceled after 3 seasons on the CW, and then so thankful to BET, they picked us up.
Yeah.
Went on and created more of the story. And within that, Tia's character who played Melanie, we really didn't go off to see what, being a young Black doctor in that world like means and her importance, because now we're seeing it now with like where certain doctors and people who work in hospitals and whatnot, they're sometimes taken for granted, or we don't give them the hero accolades that they deserve, man. And so you have these people on the front lines like saving lives and putting their lives at risk, that when you think about it now, that's what would make it really interesting as far as like the game, and where Melanie Barnett Davis would be now as a doctor, and what that looks like. You see what I'm saying? Her character was about it, as far as like, I'm trying to be the best doctor that I can be, just like you, Derwin, is trying to be the best footballer player you can be. Right. So we never got to see that. Our characters went, to a certain point, and then I went off and did Ray Donovan, and then, Tia went off and, she did all her stuff. So that remains to be seen, my G, like as far as what that would look like today. And I think given the state that we're in as far as like society and economy as people, that it would really be interesting to see like what would go on in Melanie's world as she's a doctor trying to maneuver through, just saving lives and putting her life at risk and stuff like that. So that'd be really cool to see, man. Excuse me.
Definitely. I mean, that's definitely a point of view, and definitely this time. And I guess even with, the seasons coming out now, what has been that experience between the new fans and the old fans and the new fans? Because now, this came out 2006, and again, Netflix is a huge platform, and you have a lot of young people who are now just being hit to the game and hating Derwin and Melanie all over again. But what has that experience been like?
I'm sorry, my G. I was kind of like, somebody was like, "Yo, can you tell us how you found out about McHottie?"
We still trying to figure that out. That's still a question. Nobody knows. Can you tell us right now?
Okay. How I found out about McHottie was, I don't know. I just found out. I guess the story was because Derwin is so like a celebrity and a star and all that, and the football team, that he would have ways to find out, or somebody would have said something to him. Right. So we never really went into how Derwin found out about McHottie, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was reading the script, I was like, "Yo, so I just know about this dude?" Like, I was like, "Okay."
Right.
But it's funny because people will ask me all types of stuff like that, man. Like, how'd you know about McHottie? Is it Tia the one walking in the beginning of y'all's intro?
Isn't it Dion?
It's Dion. Yeah. It's Dion.
It
was the one walking in the beginning. What else is something that people ask me? And I'm gonna get back to your question. Did she have? There was Melanie. Yeah, so she was pregnant by Trey Wiggs. Yep. Trey Wiggs, bro. What else? What else is another one?
He's still upset,
bruh. All I can tell you, man, is that if the game were to get rebooted,
which is what we hearing, that's some talk.
What you talking about? Hey, man, let me tell you something right now. The possibility of what the game could be today
Yeah.
from Mara Brock and Kill,
Yeah.
all them little mosey, little fire joints, boom, boom, boom. That's what it would be now, because we would finally be able to be a show where we weren't like looking over our backs, we're gonna get canceled, or like we're not getting no support, or man, they cutting our budget. Like, I think that we would get our fair shake at like being a legit show, that we stood the test of time, man. Like, to come back, and I think the last I saw was we're number 8 as far as the popularity of, which is dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that if it were to come out now, you know, and then everybody be involved,
Yeah.
it'd be lit. It'd be too lit.
Listen, we need that. We definitely need that reboot for sure. But so I have a question for you.
Love to see it too. Like, no glass ceiling. Yeah, man.
I want to see it. So when I was younger, you know, first watching the show, Derwin and Melanie, I just thought they were in love and they just couldn't get it together. They was fighting back and forth and they just couldn't get it together. Now that I'm a little older, not gonna say how old, but a little, y'all was toxic, bro. Both of y'all, Melanie and Derwin, were toxic. Both of y'all.
Building, yo, my city saying what's up. Yeah, man. Rockton, Mass, East Side, 508, you dig? Toxic?
Toxic. Y'all were toxic. And I want to know,
me or her, or the relationship?
Well, I'm Team Derwin.
My man.
I'm Team Derwin. I think that I'm going to ask you, who do you think was most toxic? Taking you outside, I'll say Derwin versus Melanie. But I will tell you my rationale is I feel like Melanie was toxic because, one, was not supportive. 2, every episode for at least the first 2 seasons, we had to hear about, I left John Hopkins for you. 3, we had to sit here and talk. She over here sleeping around while y'all just getting board games. So it's a lot of animosity I got built up right now. And I just want to know from you, what do you think? I want to know what Pooch Hall thinks about Derwin and Melanie.
Yo, it's so crazy you asked this, man, because I saw there was a meme that it was like a meme that said, who's the toxic one in the relationship? So it's funny you say this. So in retrospect, and stepping outside, you know, being, you know, playing devil's advocate, looking inside the relationship. I mean, I would have to say, I mean, they both had their thing. And so 2 wrongs don't make a right. You dig? And so I think the big thing that happened was when Derwin slept with Drew Sidora.
Right.
Now, because listen, guys, we all understand relationships are hard, and they all have their ups and downs. And you know, when 2 people love each other, you work it out. And sometimes a person, they have different perspectives. Each person's gonna have their perspective. Number 1, they coming from different backgrounds. 2, I feel if they are a partnership, there's certain things that we learn to accept and work within the relationship, knowing like, hey, you know what? She don't like when I leave the toilet seat up, or she hates eat when I cook vegetables, or if I fart in my sleep or something. She hates that stuff. Those are certain that they learn to accept, but my father used to say to me, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Now, if you like a nag and you're not understanding to where at some point in time, somebody's got to say, all right, hold on, time out. Let me see where he or she's coming from. You dig? So if somebody's not willing to do that, it becomes toxic, because then it's a relationship where nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody wants to be right. So not everyone could be right, and you can agree to disagree. But I feel when you have that love, when you have that love for each other, there's a respect to where, you know what? Let me see why he's either not agreeing or she's not agreeing or disagreeing. And it's kind of like, well, I love my boo, or I love my dude, and he's disagreeing for whatever reason. Let me take a step back. Let me take a step back and see what's going on, or if I'm missing something. See, like, I think today, bro, people have egos and are entitled to where it's like, if you have a disagreement with somebody, then all of a sudden people like, oh, he or she's like, he's an asshole, or she's a bitch, or you can't tell her nothing. He hard. It's like, hold on a second. We're all individuals to where we're gonna have a different perspective on how we look at things. And if we call ourselves friends or a relationship or partnership or whatever, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm missing something to where I want to see where he's coming from, because given his or her track record, there's a lot of good there. And what we tend to do, I think, in relationships, bro, is that when we really get frustrated and it becomes toxic, all we dwell upon is the negatives. And the negative will outweigh all the positives. Like, yo, but you forgot this, that, and the third. And I feel you don't even have to bring up the positive if you really got a solid relationship. And so when Derwin did his thing, and he really was sorry, but he was really about his chick. And Melanie, and you have to keep in mind, we was young.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You got to think about it, fam. A lot of people tend to forget that these cats came out of college.
Right.
He went to the league.
Right.
And she's like, I'm going to become a doctor. So what? 22? 23? He's still babies.
Yep.
And it's going to make them baby mistakes, some college mistakes, because here's the thing. You don't really grow until you go through some trauma, or you have those moments where you got to reflect and take a look within yourself.
Right.
And that solid partner, they'll help you through that.
Right.
Or be somewhat understanding. You see what I'm saying? But I think with that, I would have to say Derwin made a mistake.
Right.
But I would have to say Melanie was probably the toxic one. But in her defense, it's like, you don't go and mess around on her. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but here's the thing, and they eating me up saying that cheating. Yes, Derwin cheated, right? But let's not forget that she wasn't, when Derwin got his endorsement deal, he was super excited, or the possibility of having it. He was hyped. He was X, Y, and Z. She was like, oh, okay. Oh, well, hopefully you get it. I don't know. But your girl, Drew, was like, yo, what's up? And she was mad hyped. So it's two parts of it. That's that part that people don't put in, and I know they're going to eat me up. But I always do feel like the other person has a responsibility for the cheating. Like, why did not all the times, but sometimes the person who cheated, or the person who got cheated on, has a responsibility. They kind of push the person that way sometimes, and I do feel like that particular time Derwin was feeling very vulnerable to where he wasn't getting the love and the support from Melanie, because she was too much. Everything was studying for her. Okay. So you have that. And then also you cheated. Y'all got over it. I feel like she never got over it. And that's a problem in real life.
Yo, here's the thing, bro. Here's my perspective, because I'm seeing a lot of different comments, man. Like, let me see. It's different when you had, okay, because she was in med school, Billing, she really had to, hold on a second, I'm trying to see a good one. Right, she didn't get over it. I feel like Pooch doesn't know the episode he's talking about. What?
What?
Episodes on Netflix.
So
Okay.
everyone, like, because they giving her a pass because she was in med school, so she couldn't be as supportive to you as somebody who's not.
Okay, so here's the deal. Hey, I got this one. You got it's such a slippery
Tread,
slope.
tread lightly, tread lightly.
Here's the deal. First and foremost, right? As a guy, as a dude,
Yep.
it's really hard for a guy to be vulnerable. Okay.
Right.
And if all of a sudden there's some amazing things, let me set it up this way.
Mm-hmm.
Your partner, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your whatever, your husband, they have got to want you to succeed more than them.
Okay. Yep.
Where it's like effortless. Okay.
Right.
So here's the thing, right? If I felt in my character she was supportive, there won't be, because what happens, guys, is that resentments tend to up. And in the have their relationship, you when you have the relationship between the two of them, you have these young kids who are like, yeah, we love each other, and they haven't really dealt with adversity really, that would cause them to be like, hold up, is this the person I want to be with? Can I live my life without him? Can I live my life without her?
Right.
And so when you have, as a guy, and I'm like, yo, I made it to the league. Don't matter what round or draft I went in, I'm in the league.
Right.
Not everyone can say that. You feel me? So I think my character was like, yo, I'm gonna try to make this work for us within my power.
Right.
And every little bit that was happening, I'm like, yo, Melanie, yo, check it out. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, Derwin, but like,
yeah.
And okay, okay, because you got to keep in mind, Derwin, his dream and his career started. His dream and career started like right when he drafted.
Yep.
Melanie is still working. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. So now, in a way, the clock started, and so now Derwin thing and Derwin, and the reason why I love playing Derwin was my similarities with him, and then him trying to become this franchise player, because not only was he trying to become it, it's because he was. And sometimes we, as people, we don't catch the breaks that we deserve or want and need. But that doesn't mean they can't happen. So sometimes you may have to work a little bit harder, and sometimes you have to, stay a little bit longer. And I think with Derwin, he knew he was the business. You dig what I'm saying? So it was like, I got to put this work in.
Right.
But I'm putting the work in with a selfless, in a way, he was selfish because he had to make it happen, but he was also selfish because he wanted it for his family and for his boo. So It was like, get this. And then meanwhile, Melanie, I still got to put in this work that's not as sexy as being in the NFL, not as cool or fun as how you make it seem. And Derwin's like mad fun and silly.
Right.
That looked like it was he's playing around or it's just fun times. Meanwhile, Melanie working.
Right.
So the understanding is, you know what? This part for Melanie probably fucking sucks.
Right.
Meanwhile, if you think about it, yes, I'm in the league. Yes, it's work, but it's still football.
Yeah, and
this shit is doing it.
Right.
You feel me? So Derwin is looking at Melanie as to like, yo, boo, ain't this cool? And she's just like, yeah, Derwin.
Right.
But not understanding that she's still working. And I don't care what nobody say. midterms, finals, that shit sucks, bro. No one wants to be doing no studying.
Right.
And meanwhile, going to parties, hanging around celebrities, all this, that, and third. And then it's like, you go, I got a test tomorrow. I can't go out and study hang out with you and have fun.
Right.
But that's the maturity that people don't see in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's them. It's like, wait a second. It's like, it's less about being understood and being more understanding, guys. And so, like, you don't understand me. Why don't you just understand me? But then it's like, hold on a second. Let me be understanding. Because it sucks for her right now still.
Yeah.
That she may be in her feelings, but at the end of the day, you take all that shit away. She still loves you.
Right.
But we tend to put our own feelings, we let our egos and our own feelings get in the way of the rational part.
Right.
So hold on a second. Let me take a step back and be like, hey, boo, you know, I'm gonna go to this, and then after your test, we'll go do something that you want to do.
Right.
And about her, to where no matter how you look at it, fam bam, I'm gonna tell you straight up, and I have when you make it in the entertainment world, now think about social media, TV, movies, premieres, Hollywood, palm trees, yacht parties, eat whatever you want to eat. To the outside, people are like, damn, that shit's dope. Like, oh my God, I would love to do that. Not everyone can do that, but also as an actor and as an entertainer, that's why I'm always humble, because I don't know what someone else is going through, so I would never want to rub it in their face. Now, this is the life that I live, but I know when I wasn't where I'm at, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do that. I want to be a part of that. And now that I'm a part of it, I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's my life.
A lot of work.
But as it's the people who aren't doing that are looking at you like, damn.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, shit sucks over here. You know what I mean? But I wish I was over there.
Right.
Understanding to that.
Right.
So their relationship was, she could be looking at it like that. Whether you want to call it envious or jealousy, it is what it is.
Right.
But somebody has to be like, all right, hold on a second. Let me be the big one here, the grown up here in a sense, whatever.
Right.
But you know, when we're young, we make mistakes. That's how we get better and we grow.
Right.
You feel me?
Yep.
But I think that at some point in time, where if you know, when Derwin cheated and they went through their thing, and then eventually they came back, but part of her healing and her, in my opinion, her healing and her, I guess, and they're not going to get over it. It's more about, I got to heal because you hurt me. And then, you know, a lot of the secrets and all that shit come out. But I feel life's not complicated. People are. So it's like how you move and the choices you make is what makes it difficult. Like, you know, when our parents used to say, hey, don't touch that stove, it's hot. But we touch it anyway, even though, and then we burn ourselves and we know not to touch it again. Right. But sometimes, no, you need to figure that shit out or find out for yourself in a sense. But yeah, dude, I think that their growth and all the love that we received from, the fan base, because everyone saw themselves in this relationship. They could relate some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
A lot of cats in the league, and you don't even know how many times people was like, yo, man, I'm you, I was you.
Right.
And you learn, and I think that's the big part of it, fam, is learning from your mistakes, understanding your choices, and saying, okay, how can I be better? How can I be better for myself and for my family, what have you? You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that and that's why I feel the game is so timeless and amazing, because the one thing that Mara Rocketkill did, the creator of the show, she gave the world and a lot of us a relationship, a Black relationship that was real.
Yeah.
And real stuff happens, and it wasn't always a fairy tale.
Right.
Now, I'm in the entertainment industry. I wasn't always.
Right.
When I got in, there was some similarities that I saw that I'm like, wow, now I get it. You feel me? And you can learn from it, or you can go off and be a knucklehead and then end up like losing it all. You know what I'm saying? Based off of being selfish or what have you, or not having a partnership, within the relationship. So I think there's a lot that you can take from both characters as far as their flaws in their, you know.
I agree. What was your most memorable episode or season out of the first three? Because that's what we're talking about right now.
Which one is it?
Between out of the first three seasons, either what was your most memorable episode or situation?
I think in season one, so in season one, you got to see just their vulnerability, and their not understanding, and them just being kids. Like when she went to he had an away game. Derwin had an away, and the whole I'm bossy, and she was in the closet and all that.
Yeah.
Like people, people might be like, "Yo, what is she doing?" Right. And then some people do that too. And what it did for me, it showed me that certain things that I would think were crazy, or certain things that weren't crazy, that I felt like, you know what, I'm not the only one, that, people do crazy stuff for love. And so, Melanie going out there based off of whatever she was feeling and what have you, to go get her dude.
Right.
For a guy, and this kind of goes back to my point as far as guys being vulnerable, we love that shit. You see, in a way, it kind of strokes our ego, but it also allows us to know that we got a good one.
Right.
And, but also, it lets us know as guys that, hey, man, you can say, hey, babe, that meant a lot to me.
Right.
And her hear that, as opposed to like, yo, that was cool. And we play this macho joint,
right,
where, yo, like as a dude, like that shit touched me right here. You know what I'm saying? But like we always feel as guys sometimes that we gotta be macho and like, nah, man, nah, man. Nah. It's like, get out of here with that, bro. You know you hurting. You feel me? Right. So I think even that's sexy for a dude to be vulnerable. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes it may allow the girl to know that she's not in it by herself, as far as like, I'm the only one with feelings. We got too, we just aren't always so quick to share or be like in tune. Right. Because we feel as dudes, yo, I gotta be the masculine one. I gotta be the dude. I can't cry. I mean, I don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Cool, yo. Nah, G. Bump all that. Nah. Fall back. Nah, son. Nah, man. You hurting, nigga? Like, I'm hurt, bruh. Like, give me a minute. I need a tissue. You know what I'm saying? So It's just, imagine sharing that with your chick to where she recognizes, like, yo, he is human.
Right.
And you guys share that bond, and that's how you like you build that you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think as guys, it's okay to tap in your feelings to where it don't make you soft. It just makes you real. You human.
Yep. So as a San Diego Saver, how would they be handling COVID-19 and quarantining?
You said what?
As a San Diego Saver, how would they be handling COVID-19 and quarantining?
Okay, first and foremost, I don't know if you guys watch the news, but I don't know. Mine's the shooting, but there was a house party out here in Cali.
Yep.
Football player. Let's just say, and I love Jose, my brother, Jose Sanchez, who played Malik Wright.
Yep.
He like COVID Corona. He would think somebody's ordering beer. He'd be like, that don't concern me. He's just like, I'm a $40 million kid. We having a party tonight. Trust.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it not for nothing. Malik Wright would be having a party every other weekend just to make sure. Like, I need a week to sanitize because I had like 200 people at my crib. You know, so the San Diego Sabres, and of course there'd be the ones who are like, no, I'm not going.
Right.
You know what I mean? And actually would be calling the hotline, telling the police that like, yo, they're having a party and they are not social distancing.
Right.
Then they'd be talking about trading Malik to another team and all this, that, and third.
Right.
But I feel we as San Diego Sabres, but Derwin wouldn't be able to go because, you know, his wife's a doctor and she's like, no.
Not gonna let it happen.
You know, and I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Yo, real spit though. I mean, I live a lot around. There's a lot of medical people around, and I know a lot of you know medical people. And the thing about COVID is, not to disrespect it, is a real disease, and it's claimed a lot of lives. Not to shortchange it, man, but you know, if the COVID thing was real in the TV world, which I mean, we'll see what happens as far as, because I'm sure they're gonna do a movie about this because like we in a movie. 2020 is a movie. But I think that in the fiction TV world, they'd be partying, you know, and they mess around, lose the Super Bowl because Cats would be sick and couldn't play. But knowing Malik, he would, because he was a rebel, you know what I mean? But he having a party.
Yep.
And probably would be getting shot. You know.
So bring it into the real world. You know, you're a Black father, and of course, there's a lot going on. Black Lives Matter. What have those conversations been like with your children?
Oh my God, bro, that's such a great question. Well, as parents, Black parents, like we have a responsibility to our children to give them the best knowledge as far as their development and staying safe, recognizing their worth, recognizing you know their purpose, and you know, and what it means to be kind. You understand? And I feel that as a father, it's like, fam, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've never seen anything close to, you know, what's happening in 2020 with all of the violence and the recklessness and the craziness, man. And so I immediately, you know, have to spring into defense mode because I got babies, you dig? And so, you know, my heart goes out to the family members. Like the shit with Brianna is just, that shit is messed up, homie. Yeah, dude, I think that the conversations, I mean, and because sometimes stuff's out of your control.
Yeah.
You know, like Brianna didn't go to bed like, I'm gonna go sleep on the left side or I should go sleep on the couch because I think I'm gonna get shot tonight.
Right.
I think you live in your life, be like, hey, I'm a good person and I'm looking forward to going to work tomorrow. And, you know, matter of fact, I got to go by Target because I got to go. We need Tide or some shit. And then that shit happens, bro. We as first and foremost, man, as Black people, you know, we're always going to be up against it. But that doesn't mean we have to cower or we got to lay down. And it doesn't mean we got to go crazy buck wild and go, you know, shoot up some stores or something, man. We rally in a smart way. And as a parent, you give your kids the knowledge to where they can make a choice that's not going to get them in trouble,
Right.
or in a situation to where we don't know if a police officer is going through something to where he wants to take it out on, somebody. So I think as a parent, it's, and this goes for just goes for parents, period, to make sure that we are giving our children the best information to become the best versions of themselves and great people, to at least, if you live your life as a kind person, you can kind of, for the most part, take yourself out of certain categories of, like, if you weren't a kind person, it's not everyone's receptive to it. Not everyone, because a lot of people, we don't know what everyone's going through. But one thing that I children is being kind and trying to help others, and be of service. One thing that these kids nowadays, they don't have anymore growing up, they're not respectful. They're not. Everyone's thinking of themselves. And my dad used to say, whatever you do it with class. And class isn't something you buy, it's something that you are taught, and how you carry yourself. You feel me? So I think that, because like bro, I love my baby so much, man. Like, man, when my kid has a cold, I'm ready to fight somebody. I'm ready to fight the flu.
Right.
My kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of pop I am.
Right.
To let somebody mess with my kid?
Right.
Are you crazy? One of mine?
Right.
What?
Right.
I don't even like to think about it, bro, because I know what I'm capable of. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm capable of, and I don't want to bring that problem, or for that to overshadow, knock on wood, if something would happen to one of my babies. So I try to, for the most part, try to make sure that they are very respectful, very classy, kind, and aware. There's so much, people are not aware nowadays, man. Like my son don't hold the door for a lady, or don't hold the door, period. Or some walk through the door, or we waiting at, see, my oldest daughter, she's special needs. In my life. And so there's times where my daughter's in a wheelchair, bro, and I'll be waiting at the elevator. All right, here's me, my daughter, the elevator door, and the door will open. I'll wait for people to come out.
Right.
But people who were just right in front of the elevator, and I'm like, wow. And class and manners will take you so far. And the thing about it is, man, being kind will cost you shit.
Right.
It don't shit, and it'll give you everything. It'll give you everything. And these people, a lot of people today, man, are so not aware of that. They just think it's about me, 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 me.
Right.
And for me, it makes me feel good when I do something nice for somebody, bro. You know what I mean? Because it don't cost me shit. It's just like, so many people are so angry and mad that it'll take away from, you're missing all the blessings and the glories and the joys of life because you mad. Check this out real quick. And it's happened to me, and I had to learn how to teach myself, right? Somebody cut you off, right? In the traffic. Somebody cut you off. All of a sudden, everyone's like, yo, that mother cut me off,
Right.
throwing up, wanting to fight, chasing the cat down, blah, blah, blah. But hold on, time out. You ever thought this person cutting you off, they rushing to get to the hospital because somebody in their car is either hurt, or his wife's having a baby, or my mom's is on her last, like, on her deathbed? You mad because somebody cut you off, mind you.
Right.
Yo, in 5 minutes it's not gonna matter. So what do you dig what I'm saying? Like, think about, be so having a cool day, someone cuts us off, we ready to wild out. But then we like, hold on a second. Will it matter in 5 minutes?
Right.
No, that man's not trying to go. His wife's having complications trying to get to the hospital. His baby's sick, or his mom or his father. So sometimes it's just like, you know what, man? I'm not letting nobody take my joy, my power off of some dumb shit. Now I work and train every day as far as like trying to be a good person. It's not easy. It's hard, especially nowadays.
Right.
But I like being in good energy.
Right.
Like I hashtag a lot, good vibes only.
Right.
Because when you're about that, like naturally and organically, yo, them good vibes come right back to you, and that's just a place to be in, as opposed to
Right.
like
Right.
life's. But we always try to find the silver lining. You feel me?
Yep.
I mean, and I feel having worked on the game, Mara created certain storylines that emulated life to where I had kind of like a blueprint, or I've had a certain. It's almost like taking a class, like a life class or relationship class. So you kind of experience it before you actually really get to experience. So you have some understanding and knowledge of like, hey, let me make this choice, as opposed to like Derwin made this choice. Let me make this choice. So it's stuff like that that's really like helpful, man, because life's too short, man, and we sometimes complain about bullshit, like especially being in the entertainment industry. Hey, I only wanted red M&Ms. How come is a bowl of all different colors? I wanted red. Take them back.
Right.
What?
Right.
And trust me, man, I've seen shit like that. I'd be like, the hell?
Right.
I mean, I wanted Fiji water. This is Aquafina. I'm like, are you thirsty?
Yep. Go and drink this water.
Hey, the lips is dry, man. You better drink that water. You know what I mean? So that's just how I get down, bro. It's like I've been through too much, man, to be concerned about stuff that just it's not gonna matter. It doesn't really matter.
So before they cut us off, we got an hour limit. What can we look forward to from Pooch Hall? Hopefully this reboot. You still talk to everybody, right? Everybody down?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, all I'm saying, bro, all I'm saying is we game for anything.
Game for anything, okay?
But the thing about it is, you're dealing with like six talented people, six great people, six talented actors, that there's nothing that we can't do.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity and people to believe in us, the product, and wanting to see it go, as long as it can go. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
That us coming back on Netflix is a testament to like, hey, we ain't even scratched the surface.
Right.
And I'm not scratched the surface. Like, we ain't scratched the surface as in even in our careers individually.
Right.
Man, I'm telling you, man, like, I'll tell you straight up, Tia Mowry is one of the hardest working women in show business.
I believe.
She made me better. You know what I mean? Because of her experience and what she's done, and even now what she's accomplishing. Like, she's good. You know what I mean? And setting her children up for the next chapter of whatever. You know what I mean? So like, she's definitely good that way. And the rest of us, we're all talking because we all have ideas and stuff that we're working on individually and together. Because here's the thing: as working in Hollywood, guys, anybody who's not in it, who wants to be in it, it's not just about like, hey, I'm a good actor. You got to have your branding, you have to know your voice. You gotta do it all. You gotta write. You gotta direct. You gotta all that stuff, man. All that stuff's important if you want to be successful, man. And like, I'm so fortunate to be where I'm at, man, because like I went to the game, and then went to Ray Donovan, and then the actors that I've worked with, I've learned so much that the next chapter for Pooch Hall, I'm excited based off of what we're working on and what I'm working on. Julito, what up, boy? What I'm working on, that was Miracle Boys in the building for all y'all who don't know. Yeah, I did. I work out a lot and I eat good. Life is good, boo. The whatchamacallit, you got to do it all. And I think that sky's the limit. And you know, somebody mentioned a glass ceiling on, but ain't no glass ceiling, because here's the thing, you know, talent is endless.
Yep.
You can take it whatever you want. You can take it and do with it whatever you wish.
Right.
And so there's nothing I feel I can do.
Right.
And thank God I have the relationships with certain people and powers that be that we making some stuff happen. So that's just where I'm at. But like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, homie, I'm just humbled to be where I'm at, man, because you know it's Styles. What up? Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, definitely happy that, you know, the game back on Netflix, so we can put a little bit more pressure on this reboot that we are all looking for. Please, everybody, tell somebody. Make sure y'all on Twitter, Instagram. Let's continue to keep this conversation going. I want to thank you all for this conversation. We appreciate it, of course. Guys, we thank you for tuning in. You guys have a good night, and make sure y'all guys finish it. Wait, we got any more episodes? Are the other episodes coming on Netflix sometime soon? We don't know.
Make sure you guys hit up Strong Black Lead on Netflix. I tag it a lot based off of they were a huge reason as to us getting back on there and them really focusing on like Black culture. So like I would just keep talking to Strong Black Lead to see, you know, what's going on with that, because you know, first 3 seasons is on there. The first 3 seasons is on there, but we still have another 4 seasons of this that we can air. But you know, Netflix might be trying a new thing out, so they like, you know, want to make sure that they do it right. So, but the fact that it's on there, man, is huge. The first 3 seasons on there is big.
So if you guys haven't checked it out, of course we know you did. Make sure you go do it right now. Thank you, Pooch, y'all. Thank you, guys. See y'all later. Have a good night.
Boy, Pooh saying peace. See you when I see you.